Right, hi guys, welcome back to the Lola Mastercard My Team Career Mode, or whatever you want to call it. So, as you can see, it's Singapore next, the Singapore Sling. Sadly, the Sling's no longer there, it's just Singapore. But we have got a lot of money in the bank, close to $7 million, so we're going to get that spent in quality control departments and also everything that we can think of. To be honest, we're going to be spending the money wisely. We've been building that cash up. Of course, the more things you develop, the more money it costs in the long run. So we've got to spend the money wisely, but I think it's time to spend the money well here, and we're going for something in the aerodynamics department. We're going to go for something in the chassis department, and I think the other one is going to be coming in the driver development section as well, with Nick de Vries doing ever so well. We want to invest the money and getting Nick up to speed as much as possible. It's certainly worth doing. He's already proved to us that he's a capable driver, picking up that 1 point a couple of rounds ago in Hungary, of course. So we're looking to develop anywhere we can now, just to get us on form, just to get us up to speed. Of course, it's going to take a couple of months to filter through, but that's okay. We really are just trying to get ourselves now up to speed for the end of the season. Keep pushing forward, keep moving forward, and hopefully we'll get some more points and some more brilliant results before the end of the season, and of course going into the following season. We briefly saw Karen there. She, for some reason, decided that she was filing for a £100 million lawsuit because someone decided they'd make a slight joke that was in reference to a woman, and she took great offence to it. It was something to do with privileged white women or something, and Karen took great offence. But she lost the case, thankfully, otherwise she would have sent the team bankrupt. But she did want to send the team bankrupt, and that was her right and privilege because she is a white woman. So as you can see, we're in the closing stages of the qualifying session. We're on our one and only flying lap. The track is rubbered in, and we're going all guns blazing. We seem to be struggling around here. I was struggling to complete and achieve the achievements that you get in practice, of course, where you meet objectives and get points. I was struggling to keep up on pace, so we know we weren't going to be very quick, and we've only ended up in 17th in the end there. So not ideal, not the best lap by us, but that opens options for us, doesn't it, for the race to come, shall we say. So we're 17th, Nick de Vries down in 21st, a struggling session for the pair of us there, and yeah, we were off the pace. The car's not really suited to Singapore. A long street circuit is not what the car's designed to do at this moment in time. And here's the strategic plan. We're going to take penalties, we're going to get fresh everything, because everything's just slightly worn, so that will affect the overall pace of the car, not just for this weekend but in general. So we're going to take penalties, start at the back of the grid, and we may as well go for it, because we're even going to get a new gearbox as well. It's only 2 races in, but why not? We're getting pretty much a free gearbox now. One of those components would have put us at the back, so we may as well change everything and get ourselves right at the sharp end with some fresh motors and fresh components going forward, of course. So as always now, it's time to hand you over to the incapable hands of Mr. David Croft.
Here we go then, it's Formula One in Marina Bay once again, and welcome to all of you at home who join us today for this fascinating race around the baking hot, horribly humid, but very beautiful streets of Singapore. It's a 3.1 mile lap here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit with 47% taken at full throttle. It's hot, humid and bumpy around the 13 lefts and the 10 rights of mostly slow corners. But we should see speeds of up to 200 miles per hour along the Raffles Boulevard. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. They must be starting to feel the pressure at this point, Ant, surely. There's a real shot at the title on the cards here, but one error at the wrong time, well, that could throw it all away.
True enough, but that pressure goes both ways. A failure or a mistake at this point could spell the end of their championship hopes, but they know their rivals are in exactly the same situation. Let's just hope the title is decided in the purest of ways.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position. And it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Vettel, Sergio Perez, and Albon, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sainz, and Lance Stroll, Ocon, Kvyat, Pierre Gasly, and Norris, Grosjean, Magnussen, George Russell, and Kimi Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, De Vries, Latifi, and the scientist. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
So as you saw there, it was only us taking a grid drop this race weekend, and we're starting up at the back of the grid, and the 5 lights go out now, and it's away we go for the Singapore Grand Prix in the Lola Mastercard My Team. And we have got Nicholas Latifi ahead. We've also got our teammate Nick De Vries, and he's dropping back, but we're lunging forwards. Look at that. We're through into 17th, 18th, 19th place. We're slipping back, going forwards again, and now we're up to 16th once again. We've got a McLaren there of Lando Norris that's really down the order, and that's not good for him at all to be this far down this early on. But that's Roman Grosjean ahead. Sorry, it's Kevin Magnussen ahead. We've got Roman Grosjean right behind us, so we're in the middle of a Haas sandwich at the minute. And we're looking to gain more places on this first lap, are we? Yep, we're in rich mix. We're using the overtake button to its full effect, and we're through up the inside of Kevin Magnussen. Here we go. We're in the middle of an AlphaTauri sandwich now as we get through on Pierre Gasly, and that's Danny Kvyat ahead. So our sparring partners for the last couple of weekends, the AlphaTauris, it looks like we're going to be doing battle once again with them. And it's going to be interesting to see how we can make a move round Danny Kvyat, but it looks like we've got the purchase on them at the moment. Everyone else, of course, will be just looking after their tyres, potentially looking after their car as well, but we're going for an aggressive start, and we're round the outside there of Danny Kvyat. That was a brilliant move, actually, and we're up the inside now with Carlos Sainz. Are we? No, not quite. Well, looks like we're trying to get an attack though, and we're close to the points already, so it's 10 places gained on lap 1. Everyone being ever so cautious on the start, but we were just taking full advantage of that, full benefit, and we're climbing 10 places and trying to make it 11 before this lap ends, with Carlos Sainz ahead, and he has got Lance Stroll ahead in the final points paying position in that racing point for now. But we're going to complete lap 1 in 12th place, but it looks like Sainz will just be creeping ahead of us now, although we are trying to just do a little cheeky corner cut there. Sainz was briefly reharvesting some energy for his ERS system, and we tried to fake a move up the inside, but it wasn't to be, and we are in P12. We've gone a little bit wide into the first turn 1, turn 2 complex, and that's just allowed Carlos Sainz to break away for now. So we're on lap 3, and as you can see, we're suffering from massive of understeer. We've gone so aggressive at the start on lap 4 now, and once again understeering into turn 1. We get a right tank slapper on now though, and we're just not sticking to the track. It's like driving on ice. We've gone incredibly wide, and that's Danny Kvyat through. Our old sparring partner once again gets ahead of us, but we thankfully drop behind him just before the DRS range, so we get DRS once again on Danny Kvyat instead of the other way round, so that was quite fortunate for us, and we're going to absolutely lunge it up the inside, are we? Yes, we are, of course we are. We're going to go wide once again. The tyres are absolutely knackered, and in hindsight, in real life racing, I would have to give that position back, but we're losing so much time on these really knackered soft tyres that I'm fighting for every position here. As you can see, Carlos Sainz is away and gone already, and lap 4, I've decided to call it a day. I can't do another lap or 2 on these tyres like the strategy suggests. I'm going to have to come in and go onto the hard tyres instead of waiting 2 more laps and going on the mediums. It may well compromise us, but I've gone so hard and aggressive in that first section of the race that we can't even get in the pit lane. Look at that, we're bouncing over the pit lane entry there. But in we come now, and as we mentioned, we are selecting the hard tyre compounds. A couple of other cars look to have done the same. Max Verstappen's come in for mediums at this early stage, so has Daniel Ricciardo. We're not taking the risk, of course, though. We are going onto the hards as mentioned. It's not the quicker tyre, I'm aware of that, but we need to have some rubber that will get us to the end, because 4 laps on fresh soft tyres and we're already knackered. I don't think I can make the mediums last a further 11, so that's why we've gone for the hard tyres, just to give ourselves an advantage going into the latter phases of the race. So we're out in a lonely P21 at the moment. Nicholas Latifi miles behind. In fact, he's already a lap down, so something's gone dramatically wrong with Latifi's race. And as you briefly saw there, starting lap 6, a few more cars in. Pierre Gasly, Roman Grosjean, a couple to mention. And we're through up into P17. We're on to lap 7 now. We get a warning for exceeding track limits, and look at that, we're 1.8 seconds faster than we were on the soft tyre, which is absolutely mental. I know fuel load plays a part, but yeah, that's extreme. So that's how affected we were on those worn soft tyres. We've got Stroll just popping out ahead of us in the pits. We've gained advantage on a few more cars that did pit, so we're into P13 now. That's Lance Stroll ahead, who we were almost battling with at the start of the race, and not quite though. We didn't get ahead of him during the pit stop phase, and we're trying to get past him, but he's on fresh medium tyres, and unfortunately their faster, slippier B-Tech Mercedes is away and gone. So we're on to lap 9 now, and we've got yellow flags. It's Carlos Sainz that's out of the race. There he is, parked up at the side of the track. Yellow flags. And we have got another safety car. Another safety car, guys. This is every single race now. So I think for the rest of the season I will be turning the safety car off potentially. I'll leave flags on, but I'll turn the safety car off because this is just getting a bit too extreme. We're not even getting virtual safety cars. It's just safety cars all the time. I mean, it's good for us in a situation like this where we probably wouldn't have scored points. It gets us back onto the pack, as you can see there, as we're attacking Lance Stroll at the green flag phase. We make a bit of contact with him just to hold him up that little bit. Rich Mix and DRS open, ERS I should say open. We're going to try for a lunge up the inside of Lance Stroll. But yeah, it just seems to be a bit false racing now, guys. We seem to be getting one safety car every race, and it's only because a car pulls off the track, which in real life doesn't happen. So I think I'm going to try and turn the safety car off, or see if there's any settings to make it less sensitive. I'm not sure if there is, but I'll look into that and we'll go from there. So we've got Charles Leclerc ahead in the Ferrari. We're mounting an attack on him for P9 now. That ERS has stayed open for the entirety of this lap so far because we want to gain as many places as possible. And once again, it's another sparring partner. It's Esteban Ocon. We had a race with him at Monza, I believe it was, where of course we were trading positions, hand over fist, lap after lap, and we unfortunately didn't get the measure of him there. But here we go, on to the last lap now. DRS and overtake enabled, of course. We are on the back of Esteban Ocon, fighting for a coveted P8 after starting 22nd on the grid. And we're going to send it on the inside, are we? Yeah! Oh, no, contact, contact. There's a bit more of my wingos flying. There's been a bit of wing left at every circuit so far this season of the Lola Mastercard. We make more contact with him there, nuzzling the rain light on the back of Esteban Ocon, but he maintains P8 for now. We're lunging it up the inside again if we can. We're on the final lap. We're suffering from masses of understeer with the lack of front wing now. That was heavily damaged, bouncing off the wall and bouncing off Esteban Ocon. It was a bit of a half-hearted attempt there, but we had to give it a go. We seemed to just have the pace there at the end of that straight and at that corner. So we've got DRS, the ERS is completely empty, lads. We're recharging that, we're lunging again, oh, we're bouncing it off the wall, and that's it, I think our position and chance for getting P8 is over now. So once again, we fail to make and take advantage of Esteban Ocon in the closing stages of a race. But nonetheless, a great race, P9, like I said, bit of a bittersweet race really. I don't think we'd have been in the points without that safety car, and that safety car was very much undeserved this time. But we're going to take the points nonetheless, and we are going to cross the line in P9. So a couple more points on the board, and there we go. As you can see there, we got, oh, we actually had there, who was that was attacking us at the end there? But nonetheless, we've got very close, but no cigar. And, oh, we're P8 apparently. Did Ocon have a penalty? Not quite sure. We'll look into that, but there we go. That's me, driver of the day again. So that's myself and Nick de Vries really mopping up in these recent races for driver of the day. The crowd seems to love us. Christian Horner's loving life. That means that it must be Max Verstappen that's won, so that'll really help him in the Drivers' Championship, of course. They're in a big battle, Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton, and of course Max Verstappen. So every point counts, and Max taking the maximum 25 points is a big thing there. As you can see, the Red Bull boys absolutely loving life, giving each other hugs and kisses. Spicy. So it is Max Verstappen from Valtteri Bottas, and Sergio Perez picking up another podium after a win at Monza. So that's decent for the Racing Point. They're proving to be really quick now. And it's time for the champagne! So there we go, we ended up P8. There was no penalty for Ocon, he actually finishes P7, so what went wrong? Who went missing there? We've got Nick de Vries finishing 19th, so an okay race for him. We knew the race wasn't really ours today. And we've got Lewis Hamilton a lap down. So did he break down on the last couple of corners? Because we were definitely P9 going into the final couple of corners. So did Lewis Hamilton potentially throw away a win or a podium with a breakdown at the end, or maybe a collision perhaps? We'll have a look at the replay in a little while. We're back into P9 in the Drivers' Championship. Championship and firmly P7 in the Constructors, so that is fantastic for us. We don't think we're going to get any higher than 7th, but we'll certainly take that for a first season. And yeah, that was a weird one. So let's have a look at the replay for Lewis Hamilton. So this is the last lap. He's running P2 and he's going to cross the line. He's going to cross the line, P2, Max Verstappen ahead, Valtteri Bottas behind, but for some unknown reason the game doesn't register him as going across the line. So that means that he's ended up bumped down the order. Well, that is a costly mistake by the game there for Lewis Hamilton's championship. He crossed the line, second place. We all saw it there. It'd have been a championship rival, 1, 2, 3, and it wasn't to be. Well, that is ever so strange. An unfortunate problem there, or issue. He did get the fastest lap, so at least he doesn't score a point for that, but he takes away from the other rivals. As you can see there, we just booked an aero team dinner, and we've got some parts that have failed, so we're just going to quickly have a look at those and refresh those to make sure they're ready for the next round. A few more big updates coming, and as you can see there, we were well into third from bottom now. We're going to redevelop that part, and there we go. So thank you so much for watching, guys, as always, and I'll see you in the next round, which will be Russia. Much love.